Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to Tanya Alvin with War Castles, and this is the start of it. An amazing story. We'll get straight into it. And just to say, it is the 18th of December that I'm doing this one. I had to redo it.
In 1999, the United States was quietly being taken over by Great Britain. A vigilant patriot named Russell J. Gould recognized the threat, and in a series of strategic moves, he saved us from foreign invasion. He took control of the Title IV U.S. flag and logged it in with the United Nations, becoming sovereign successor to Great Britain. When the political dust settled, Mr. Gould had taken over several high-ranking government positions, and that put the country's true terrorists on notice. He introduced a language called now-time quantum grammar. Then he used it to prove all previous legal and financial documents to be fraudulent. This saved the U.S. trillions of dollars in debt.
Just to recap, I came across now quantum grammar maybe about 2 years ago. David Wynne Miller and various other people, and really wanted to study it, but just didn't at that time. I really do now.
He redesigned the periodic table of elements. His work was referred to as extraterrestrial technology and genius. As a reward for his efforts, he was arrested and tortured by the government that he saved. War Castles is a documentary series chronicling the events involving Russell J. Gould's rescue of the free world. Join us as we lay out the facts and answer a very crucial question. How is all of this a secret?
I have put all the information in the description box, so all the parts in the description box. Not only have I made this long video, which is over an hour long, into parts, but I've also put all the other documents that came with War Castles. It's an amazing and deeply moving story.
In the year 2007, the mortgage crisis hit the United States. Several of the guys in my unit got together. We were sitting around the shop one day and talking about how we were losing our homes and we were all about to be tossed out on the street. We were really kind of worried about it. As we were sitting around talking shop, we were like, hey, we got the clearances to do this. We know people in the right places. Let's get together and let's see if we can't drum up and figure out what in the heck happened. What in the heck caused this mortgage crisis incident, and what really happened there?
You know, it's very interesting because when I was with not with my husband passed over 10 years ago, but we had such difficult financial problems and lost 4 houses. At one point we owned 4 houses, but we lost one after the other, 4 houses. And so that made me do a tremendous amount of research into banking. And what he's saying is, exactly what I discovered. The whole system is based on fraud and criminality. But they had the knowledge through this quantum grammar, Parsi quantum grammar, of how to rectify that. That's the brilliance of Russell J. Gould and a friend of David Wynne Miller as well. We're great friends.
So after a few months of digging, we had ran across Judge David Wynne Miller and Russell-J. Foucault and Gould, and what they had done to the mortgage industry that they were responsible for. And that was that they had syntaxed the mortgages and found them to be 100% grammatical fraud. And so that was a big eye opener.
That some of you might not understand that, but as you just listen and understand and go and do a research on syntax and go and do a research on David Wynne Miller, all right, you'll stop here and do that, because then you'll understand that difference between the languaging. Much of it actually is also that the evil dark cabal have used is what's known as legalese. And for instance, the word must in legalese actually means in the English language may, but because it's in the legalese, is in this writings with these so-called laws or statutes, people believe that they're reading English. The word understand in legalese means, do you come under me? So if a police says, do you understand? And you might say yes, because you're understanding the English, but he's actually meaning, you come under me, I can do anything with you, and you're in agreement, because they can't do anything if you don't agree, you see. So that's not quite the same as syntax, but you'll get a better idea if you go and do a little bit of research on David Wynne Miller in syntax.
For us. So we looked at that and we were like, hey, so it wasn't the subprime mortgage lending that led to the collapse. It was the fact that these guys had syntaxed the actual contracts, the banking and mortgage contracts, and found them to be 100% grammatical fraud. And Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac immediately bundled those up and sold them to Bank of America. And 3 days later, when Bank of America found out they were sitting on bad paper, they sold them to, I believe it was Wells Fargo. And from there, the fire sales had...
This is what they always do. If you don't pay what is actually called a loan but not a loan, they just bundle it up and pass it on to somebody else. Oh, they are so evil.
Started with these bundled mortgages. So with that, we started digging deeper. Well, who is Russell J. Gould and who is David Wynne Miller? But what really unlocked the entire mystery for us was the fact that there was a grammar key on the mortgages that had been syntaxed, the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac mortgages that were syntaxed by these guys. They had a grammar key or a syntax key on the side of the paperwork. And so we were like...
I got as far as looking at that syntax key, I think it was a couple of years ago, and just didn't go any further with it. Now I can't wait to get my head into it.
Like, okay, well, we understand how syntax works and how there was grammatical fraud going on, but what gave this key, this syntax key that they were putting on the paperwork, the power to syntax that document? And with that, that's when we uncovered the largest national security secret in this nation's history, if not the world itself. So what this did was it led us down, basically this led us down several rabbit holes. And one of the rabbit holes that it led us down was we had to go all the way back to the beginning of U.S. history or American history to figure out what in the world was going on there, because this goes back that far. So we went all the way back to the start of the 13 colonies and the original bankruptcy of the United States. And that's really what this all stems from, is the bankruptcy of the United States.
Okay, I will make the next part, and so watch out for that. God bless. Katani Alvin saying cheerio for now.